ओम गंगुरुभ्यो नमः। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभासकृतं वन्दे भगवन्तो पुनः पुनः। ईश्वर गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद् व्याप्तदेहाय श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम अनेक जन्म संप्राप्त जन्म कर्म विदाहिनः आत्मज्ञान प्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णुः गुरुर्देव महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरुर्पदं मंत्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्ष्यमूलं गुरुः कृपा। मोक्ष्यमूलं गुरुः कृपा। मोक्ष्यमूलं गुरुः कृपा। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम ऐं सरस्वती नमः। ओम क्लीं कालिकाय नमः। ओम गंगणपतये नमः। ओम क्लीं भद्रकाल्ये नमः। ओम दंदर्गाय नमः। ओम ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। हरिः ओम। So through the prayers we are going to study today another part of the tantric science, which is more secret part of the science. There is many techniques of the secret sadhana, and I have been taught you intellectually. But I work out there is many kind of secret sadhana of the tantra. You may only get the intellectual informations. It may not suitable to practice as per your lifestyle leading in Europe. It is actually it is a system, it is a practice. It is fit for generally those spiritual seekers, spiritual sadhaka, tantric sadhaka, yogi sadhaka. It is suits for them, it is good for them, because the environment, you need a particular environment, the conducive environment. The good environment also need religious backgrounds, spiritual backgrounds, atmosphere backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, many backgrounds need to practice such a tantric practice, that the Gupta sadhana, what I try to teach many things. Intellectually seems very nice, a lot of information, but practically it does not suits. It does not allow us, especially the life we are a country in Europe. So I don't know I should today teach this a secret sadhana of the tantra or not. But there is the one of the secret sadhana they call Panchagni sadhana. So that I can speak, because that is I practice myself. And that is possible. This Panchagini sadhana, if are really good sadhaka, good sannyasin, and you could renounce 5-6 months or 3 months or 4 months in summertime, especially that kind of atmosphere in the Indian atmospheres, either southern India, middle part of India, even Rishikesh, even more Rishikesh in the that is cold areas, very difficult to practice this Panchagini sadhana as well. So therefore, Panchagini sadhana, one of the secret sadhana, out of 10 Gupta sadhana, out of 10 secret sadhana of Tantra. So therefore, and very important to know today what we are going to study. So I am going to speak Panchagini sadhana today. Am I clear? Panchagini sadhana, one of the ascetic sadhana, and that can be done very simplest way. Because Panchagini sadhana, you need the strong sankalpa, strong convictions, and that can be done. Even Panchagini sadhana done also by the women as well, done by the man. Man means the yogis, the masters. Panchagini sadhana you can start when you have no personal agenda or personal expectations. During Panchagini sadhana, there is a lot of difficulties because Panchagini sadhana you are doing in the samsara. Panchagini sadhana, you have to renounce all kind of renounce means you have to dispassion of the samsara objectives, dispassion. While you're sitting in the Panchagini sadhana in the middle of fire, it seems very simple, and 4 fires around it. The 4 fires around it is represents kama, krodha, lobha, moha, the 4 things. Then madhya, the person who's sitting in the middle, the sadhaka sitting in the middle, around the fire middle, that represents Lord Sun, Surya Dev. And these 4 fires and Lord Sun represents kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madhya. Kama means desires. We have so many kind of desires we have. We have so many desires due to our past karmas, due to our prarabdha, due to karma of this life. Also due to created the desires in this life as well. So kama, krodha, krodha is anger. Anger, it is generally created by ourselves when the fruit of the actions are not fulfilled. We have many kind of desires, many kind of expectations. Kama, krodha comes. Krodha means anger. Generally, we are angry when the things are not fulfilled as per we wish, as per we expect, as per we desire. Right? So we have many desires, many wishes, and it's not possible always fulfill. So we are actually angry for that. So we are angry not only to ourselves, we are angry on others. We are angry for the place. Even sometimes we are angry for our pets, angry on our children, wife, partners, beloveds, masters, gurus. Even are angry on God as well. We are angry on the God as well. So what I mean here, kama and krodha. So kama is the desires and krodha means anger. It is very important sadhana. Panchagini sadhana, one can be done and creating the four fires middle of the, and around the fire middle sadhaka sitting. But kama, krodha, lobha, moha, and madhya, these are very important aspect of yoga as well. You don't need to have panchagni sadhana, but at least you also you can learn through the meditations. And if you not, if you not, if you are not master of the kama, krodha, lobha, and moha and madhya, there is no possible to attain samadhi. So basically, all kind of yogi studies, all kind of spiritual studies leads to all the way how to free from kama, krodha, lobha. Lobha means greediness. Moha means attachment. Madhya means here I-ness. Asmita, the ego, or fear of death. Everything belongs to me. So on. So kama, krodha, lobha, moha. Lobha means here greediness. Raga. Lobha here means raga. Moha means also, moha means raga. Lobha means greediness. We have so many things in our life. We are trying to accumulate out of our greediness, but generally we don't enjoy anything. We don't enjoy anything sometimes. So sometimes we're accumulating many things, and we don't share with others. We don't share with others. Either we have lot of money, lot of houses, lot of clothes, lot of food. Due to our good karma, we earn so many things. But sometimes we have that ego, the I-ness there, this is mine. So why should share to others? So sharing, when you are sharing to others without expectation, just giving free, naturally you free from the greediness. So therefore, in our ashrams, in monastic life, as a guru, whatever we are accumulate, for example, teaching, we get money, or people give donation, dana, people giving many things, people give. So what we do? Generally, we are share with the others, the monks, with the poor people, with the needy ones. So we share with them. So when you give something freely, so naturally you are free from all kind of greediness. So greediness is very important to be free, because that all kind of greediness also leads to the raga. All the raga, because you become attachment more involved, more attachment, more. So that you need to be dispassion from the raga. Most of the time we are angry also. We react, repulsion, dvesa due to raga. We say raga and dvesa. So raga, dvesa both are present. Where the raga, there the dvesa, and where the dvesa, there the raga. So raga you can translate as moha. I already said kama, krodha, lobha, moha. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha. Moha means raga. Attachment, moha. Generally, we have, everyone has the moha. Everyone has the moha. This is our basic qualities. What I am saying you, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, and madhya. The 5 qualities are our basic nature. As a basic nature is an instinct as well. But how to overcome it? But generally, if you check certain animals, as to give best example, lion or the tiger, they actually, they are free from kama, they are free from krodha. Even in kama, krodha, lobha, moha, the lobha, they don't have any lobha even. not moha. Therefore, lion or tiger, you see, they're more strongest animal and their king also. The lions are their king and queen in the forest. How possible this? As give very simple example, when they kill some animal, and you can see they're violent, actually not, they have to survive. When they kill some animal, it's not about desire, about to fill up the belly. They have no desires this to kill, but they have to fill up their belly. So kama. So what is kama krodha? They have no anger actually. If we check one way, sometimes they kill the animal and after they eating some food and they leave that food. They kill the animal and they eating something and after that they leave the body. So they don't have so much kama, so much desire to keep for longer time. Kama krodha, even they're not angry. If the other animal comes to eat that food, so they give up. They don't keep for tomorrow in the fridge, right? Even tiger animal, they don't keep in the fridge for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. They never think about it. So kama krodha. So there is they try to share whatever they have, they eat, and whatever they give to others. So kama krodha. So there is no krodha, no anger, and lobha. So lobha means here greediness. There is no greediness to keep for tomorrow. Kama krodha lobha moha. There is no actual attachment, no involved. Whatever they kill the animal, they eat something, they give up. Whoever comes to eat is fine. They never angry. And they don't have greediness to keep for tomorrow. And they don't have raga. They have so much attachment is not there. They simply give up. No attachment, no involved. And finally, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, and madhya, I-ness. Then even they pretend whatever I done is fine. I eat. It not belongs to me anymore. And they give up. It not belongs to more. And they have never even fear of death. Because they are the king and queen, whatever say. Tiger, one of the strongest animal. Lion. But you see, we have to learn something from the tiger, from the lion as well. But it's not right example, but it is my perspectives. It is the psychological perspectives to think about. So this kama and krodha, lobha and moha and madhya, the 5 things need to be mastery. If you can overmaster the 5 skills, what happening? So naturally, you are cultivating the quality of meditation, samadhi. You are going to attainment of the samadhi. Am I clear that? So you need 5 qualities to control over mass. That is the yoga. So Panchagini sadhana is not something superficial sadhanas. It is a sadhana, is sadhaka. So they have some opportunity sitting in the sun. So that time what happening? When we are sitting around the fire and middle of the fire is sitting and you also accepting also sun, the rays are on your whole body. So what you learning here, when you have desire, you can't fulfill, not possible that time. Kama and krodha, even you are going to angry, you can't be angry because you have to consume everything because you are sitting in the middle of fire. So even you have kama, the desires you can fulfill. Even krodha, the anger also you can fulfill. Kama, krodha, lobha, the greediness also you can fulfill. The raga also you can fulfill. And the I-ness, nothing can fulfill. So these 5 qualities you are naturally, you are consuming them, manipulating them. Means you can't actually fulfill, right? You can't fulfill. But at least he can consume this. You understand? Our mastery of this, Sayam. That means nothing can be fulfilled there. So therefore, what you practice, say Panchagini sadhana externally, in external forms, is helping you how to over mastery of the 5 skills. It is the 5 skills. And 5 skills are very important. Being a sannyas. Not only being a sannyas, to get perfections or to get qualified to have the Brahmajnana, the Atmajnana, or you can attend Samadhi and to experience your higher self, not the Jivatma, but the Atma and Paramatma. So Kama and Krodha and Lobha and Moha and Madhya. And so what I mean, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha and Madhya. So these five skills are naturally work confused. So another thing. So what happening in Panchagini sadhana? In Panchagini sadhana, is today another. When you are putting 4 fires and so on, so what happened? Every time you are burning it, every time burning out. So your Kama burning out, your Krodha will be burning, Kama Krodha, Lobha will be burning. So everything you are burning out, like putting the fire. So whatever putting the fire, nothing we can receive anymore. It's one-way traffic. It is a one-way traffic. You simply give, you simply give, you simply give. Nothing else. Right? You simply give. So what happening? You simply give them. To whom? To the fire. To the fire. You simply give and nothing to return. So your Kama and Krodha and Lobha and Moha and Madhya is simply burning every moment. So you can see that there's nothing expect. You can't expect anything in Panchagini sadhana to return. Nothing. So symbolically, the Panchagini sadhana looks outside very simple, but there is a lot of meanings. There is a lot of meanings, metaphysical meanings. Metaphysical meaning. So what I mean here, so is not possible even understand intellectual. So therefore Panchagini sadhana has to be done. It is a sadhana. Again, all kind of sadhana has to be done without personal expectations. But anytime we expect something, sadhana very difficult to keep continuing. Of course, every sadhana, there is objectives to reach, to attain. Every sadhana, I will say that, like every road to reach somewhere, the destination. If you walk on the road, but somewhere will reach the destination, right? But in the path of sadhana is totally different. Sadhana also leads to the destination, but as a sadhaka, when you do sadhana, and you're supposed not to expect. So this is the basic qualifications being a sadhaka to do sadhana. And to do sadhana, you have to always find the right atmospheres, right environments, the conducive environments, the right atmospheres, the right environments. So what I mean, also right guidance. So therefore sadhana, there's many kind of sadhana and many kind of perspectives, different perspectives. But once you are initiated by the guru and master, and you must strict with the techniques, with that sadhana, and get guidance time to time. But most of the time, what happening ourselves, especially today in the 21st century, actually we study many things, or we may have the master, we may have the guru, but generally out of our present environment or out of the education system of the 21st centuries, or the education of the system for cultures or religions or the environments according to our countries. So certain sadhanas are not very conducive. Certain sadhanas are not conducive. I'll give an example very openly and nicely to you. For example, like every countries, they have their equal rights. Like India is a liberal country. There are many countries. Like for example, I give one example like Afghanistan. Like today, and they have the whole world fight with that country. So Taliban, they will not allow. They want to have a emirate of the, how say, according to Quran. So they want to establish the dharma. So everybody has to follow. So what I mean, so maybe that country not conducts for a yoga and is not important also. So what I mean, and we same time also we must respect, and wherever you go, whatever they have. But another thing is very important. We must choose ourselves what is good for me and how, or chosen by the Guru. Most of the time, any kind of sadhana I do actually is not possible to choose ourselves. Is not choose ourselves. So what I mean, we supposed to choose the sadhana as per the guidance of the masters, and they're the best solutions to continue the sadhana. And at the same time, for example, your own country does not allow you to have yogic sadhana, and you want to do yogi sadhana. So in this concept, you may change the place and find the right country, the right place where you can do yoga sadhana. So this is the individual rights. If you can manage that, and it's fine. But same time, this is I'm speaking about the environment, atmosphere for sadhana, for Gupta sadhana, for secret sadhana. So you have to always choose. For example, your country is Christian, somebody Catholic, somebody Orthodox, even somebody Hindu, somebody Muslim, doesn't matter. Maybe even everything is okay, but still sometimes for yogi sadhana, people don't find very much conducive, not very good. So therefore, many people around the world, many yogis, many masters, many gurus, they all they come to Himalayas, and they come to practice yoga in the cave, in the ashrams, the centers, and whatever. Because you're liberal, to practice yoga sadhanas, and only yogic atmospheres. Then no atmosphere can actually disturb you. And you travel many parts of the world, and there is many kind of religious activities as well. So might they don't respect of your own practice of yogic practice as well, right? So therefore, you have to choose that. But same time, we must respect also. Wherever you are, which country you are, doesn't matter. So which whatever their beliefs, we must respect, because respect is very important. Somebody, whatever, but as a yogic way, we must choose and avoid which atmosphere, which environment, which country is not suitable for you to have to yogic practice. You understand me? This is the basic awareness. Very important. And I have in certain countries also, certain places around the world, and even we have to hide our practice, the yogi practice, we have to hide. So for due to the religions, so I'm not going to give that names of the different countries today, but I have been certain countries, and even in many countries they actually don't allow and to practice all kind of yogi practice. But today, of course, many countries by the state government, they allowed to have yogi practice. So far, our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi ji, introduced yoga in the United Nations. So since that, some countries are liberal, but doesn't mean every country is accepted today. The science of yoga is liberal. No, still some countries are not accepting. That you know also. So even United Nations is accepting. Like United Nations is accepting many things, right? But doesn't mean every country accept what United Nations says so. No. So like United Nations, like a guru, is like advisor to everyone. But doesn't mean every country listen to United Nations. Actually not. And you know that. You're smiling now. So many countries don't listen. Also United Nations. Similarly, so even Guru say many things to many disciples, doesn't mean the whole disciple listen to the Guru. So that also you know. So therefore, Guru is a neutral, have no powers over power of the disciples. Sometimes the disciple will react. You are not my father, you are not my mother, you are not my brother, you are not my husband, you are not my friend, nothing. You are simply guru. So I will decide. I listen you everything, but I will decide what I want to do. So that the students today, the disciple around the world, they approach to the guru. They come to guru to get guidance. But whatever guru guided them is not, whatever suitable is fine. Whatever not suitable, they reject it. But guru always choosing the best for the disciples. The best for the disciples. You must understand. And when guru choosing best for the disciples, but generally we don't accept it because due to our personal agenda, personal expectations, due to our kama, krodha, lobha, moha, and madhya, the 5 things we have. But that 5 things we need to be our mastery. Therefore, we do sadhana. And when you ask to sadhana to guru, guru try to teach you the sadhana, then you don't want to accept the sadhana. So as per a guru guide, you look, you need particular place, you need particular environment, particular atmospheres, and please come. And or go to particular place to do sadhana. But today, as you are a student, as a disciple, you don't listen. And that is you are angry, even on the guru, on the masters. But masters also has to be more intelligent, I think. They have to be more intuitive, I think. And master has to more use their vivek, their also common sense, how they can guide their students, their disciples, their seekers. So therefore, guru has to be very much wise in 21st century. Gurus are more easier in many civilizations before, in old age, because the students are very simple to surrender. So gurus are also very simple. But today, the disciples, the students, the sadhakas are more complicated. They think because so many information, the computers are digital, they think they know better than the guru. So very difficult being a guru to actually guide to disciple. Very difficult. That what I have been experienced with my lot of students, lot of disciples or devotees and yoga seekers. Many students comes to me or disciples, whoever. Actually, finally, they said me sometimes, Guruji or Swamiji or Yogiji, I know the best. You don't need to advise me what I have to do. You don't need to, you are not my even blood relations. You are not my father, you are not my mother, even you are nothing to me. So why I have to listen to you? Why I have to follow you? Because I know the best. So don't advise. If you advise, if you communicate, we also stop all communicate to you. That's what the disciples today. Even disciple threatening to the master, don't advise me. So what I mean today, how a master can really guide to their own students, disciples, and sadhakas. So this is also very important part of the tantra. So tantra means here, when a disciple completes surrender, the first lesson of tantra starts. So it's not only that, even 21st century, even current education systems or current the state rules about the democracy, whatever. And you see that even the children, they don't listen to their parents as well. And you know that. You know very well in Europe, especially most of the civilized countries, even if the children say to their parents, I know what I'm doing the best. Who are you to advise me? Even they tell to their own mother and father. Even they tell to their own husband, who are you to tell me? Or husband tell to wife, who are you to tell me what I have to do? So husband neither listen to wife and wife does not listen to husband as well. There is no mutual understandings. Even between father and the children, between parents and children, there is no mutual understandings. There is no mutual acceptance. So what I mean here, parents has to be more educated today, like the gurus has to be more educated today. The disciples, they don't need any education because they always can blame to their parents. As a disciple, as the students, they always blame to their guru and teachers and masters. You understand me? That is what the democracy of today. And you see that you're all governments, they always putting pressure on the parents, but they never are putting pressure on their children or the students. Rather, the state government are putting pressure on the teachers, the master and the gurus, but they never pressure on the students as well. You check that? So there is so many and freedoms for the students today, and so many freedoms to the children. So that is the democratic value of today. There is no proper value of the education. Today we have education has the moral based education around the world. No morals, no vivek at all exist. If they are not proper understanding between husband and wife, there are no proper understanding between parents and children, and there is no proper understanding between masters and disciples. So how we can bring and peace and happiness in this planet? How one can study the secret sadhanas from the gurus if there are no proper understandings? So becoming myself as a student and becoming myself as a teacher and guru, I think I need to more educated myself. That is what today I realized. And many years I try to also realize myself, and time to time, and when I'm leading the life of spiritual life as a yogi, yogic life, when I'm leading, most of the time I find out such kind of obstacles in my life. So therefore I'm sharing today with all of you about sadhana. So sadhana to be done with the proper understandings of the proper understandings of our own skills. Then we have to ask ourselves, what kind of desires I have, what kind of karma I have before I'm going to approach the guru. Is it I'm going to listen the guru before approaching the guru? So you have to ask that. Is it whatever guru going to say, is it I'm going to really follow? Is it I'm really going to listen him? Or I'm listening what I want to listen? So we have to actually test ourselves. So the secret sadhana of tantra actually today in 21st century, I think very hard. Even all kind of yogic practice also very hard. But today many people practice yoga. Many people practice also tantra, mantra, vedanta, whatever. People practice yoga, yogic way, yogi perspective, Vedantic perspective, tantric. But how many people today successful? How many people today live in the peace and happiness? How many people today, or how many spiritual seekers really live in the peace and harmony? So we have to check that, right? So this is the very important aspect of the secret sadhanas. Am I clear that it is something to actually we have to introspect ourselves? I actually realize this in always. Even sometimes I asked my guru and certain things, I always ask myself, is it I'm going to listen my guru really? And whatever my guru say, is it I'm really upset? Is it I'm really angry? Or I'm really accepting him positive? I always ask this question to myself, whatever I'm teaching today in this platform. In this platform, today, one of the day, I tell you, one of my, because I ask myself, sometimes we think ourselves we are enlightenment and we are teaching Brahmagyan and Atmagyan and so on. But today, I said very honestly, I'm not such a person to speak with you. I only teach you what I get guided by the masters. I teach you always whatever scripture says so. I always teach you whatever I have been educated with the masters, with the gurus only. So you understand what I mean? So all are intellectual knowledge, but experience is totally different. And today, one of the day, I feel even I have been educated in monastic life, spiritual life, doing Panchagini sadhana, and many other sadhanas also, like Kriyayoga sadhanas, and so many also Tantric practices, Vedantic practices, Yogi practices as well myself. And I spending more than 30 years in this physical body, in this Jivatma. But still, there is a lot of sadness, lot of difficulties I have, lot of obligations are there. And today, I want to share with you today one of the day, even we have very nice bandara and very nice old sadhus coming, is good celebrations. But today, one of the day, one of my saddest day in my life also as well. There are certain things I'm not going to speak in this platform, but one of the saddest day, one of the painful day for me today. But it is the life and we have to accept it. There is no other options. So what I mean, sometimes see, when you do many sadhanas, but still there will be the obstacles. Remember always. Even you are going to Brahmagyani, even like Lord Rama, just I give a very simple example. Like yesterday already I said you. Even you are Brahmagyani, so due to prarabdha or due to the present karma, due to environment, due to your country, due to your society, due to your environment, due to your time and space, but difficulties remain will be there. But the thing is that you may not going to suffering long time, but suffering comes. But that you have to aware. But that you can overcome due to your Brahmagyan. But the problem will be there. So therefore, you never say that I'll not do mistake because I'm Brahmagyan. Even after self-realized person also can be done mistakes. But that mistake he can overcome. They can overcome. I give one example, very simple. Even Lord Rama is the incarnation of Lord Narayan, full incarnations. Even like Lord Krishna, they're full incarnations. And you see how their life in Lord Krishna is a small child. He was born in the prison. Imagine that. Even Lord Krishna, he could not help your own father and mother to get out of the prison. But of course, after some time, he tried to take them out. But what I mean here, even if the God have sometimes not power to overcome, they're the karmas. And we have to go through that karma sometimes as a part of sufferings. But due to environments, due to country, due to democracy, whatever the reasons there. So what I mean here, the similar Lord Rama, even he was the king, he was incarnation of God. But what happens? He finally, and even sent his own wife to the forest and jungle and all this. So how many kind of difficulties? And Sita is the queen of that country. And queen go to jungle and forest. Could you imagine that? So even a queen, you have the difficulties. And she not even a normal queen. And even she the wife of Lord Rama. And she itself the Lakshmi. She the Jagadamba. She the full power. And she was born as a human form. Even human form, as we believe she was the incarnation mother, divinity, mother Durga, Jagat Janani, the universal mother. So even Mother Lakshmi as well. But same time, she also, when come to as a human form, she also suffering as well. So we are just common beings. So we have to do sadhana, how to overcome it. Even after enlightenment, you also keep continuing your sadhana always. Keep meditating, keep in samadhi. Even I said, even after Brahmagyani, after Atmagyani, there is many people like our great master Swami Sivan. He was even paralyzed. Paralyzed the whole body after his self-realizations. As per we believe. Because we believe our gurus are self-realized. So maybe for others he was not self-realized. But as per our belief, our trust, so that we working that, we working, so our gurus are alike. Even that you see is a great Brahmanyani, great Atmiyani, even like Ramana Maharshi, and he was suffering from the Bata. Even he have knee joints, he have so much knee pain, even unable to walk before leaving the body. Paramahଂsa Ramakrishna, great sadhaka, even he could not avoid his cancer. Even Swami Vivekananda, he could not avoid his the skin cancers, and like Swami Sivananda, he could not avoid his the paralyzed. So like this. So what I mean here, so many yogis, many masters, many gurus, they also after their enlightenments, also they grew further sufferings. But these sufferings may not make them sufferings, but sufferings are there. Sufferings are there, right? So after sadhana, so after enlightenment, you need eat also, and you need to sleep as well. And also you are after enlightenment doesn't mean you are walking in the middle of road. No, you also walk in the side of the road, follow the discipline of road as well. And fear of death naturally comes. So ahara nidra bhaya maithuna. Maithuna means here attraction of the opposite sex, there is, but we may all conquer ahara nidra bhaya maithuna. Even after enlightenment, also we conquer these four qualities, but we all need these things. So what I mean here, so do the sadhana, either the Panchagni sadhana or any sadhana. The main aim of the all kind of secret sadhana, either tantra, but today I speaking the Panchagni sadhana, tantric sadhana, the Gupta sadhana, the secret sadhana. So the secret sadhana is how to over mastery of your kama, krodha, lobha, moha, and madhya. The five things to be over mastery. And once you are over mastered the five things, so naturally, and you can enter the kingdom of peace, happiness, love, and compassion, and you are kind. Remain to yourself and to others, and that is, and through that, master of the skills. Master of skills means, again, I repeat, master of the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, and madhya. So naturally, you can attain your Atmagyan and Brahmagyan. You understand? I need this Jivatma only to experience Atma and the Jivatma. So after once you are experienced Atma and Jivatma, you simply entering into Samadhi and you can leave your Jivatma and you are thankful to your Jivatma, to your physical body, or to thankful to your mother, your father, your brother and sisters, whoever, to your guru, to your master, teachers, all who supported you all the way to enter into Samadhi and leave this and all the way to enter the kingdom of Sivatattva. Eh? Sivatattva, the final liberation of the fire of consciousness, what we study in the Vijnanavara Tantra. So does mean you are going to react all of people. You know, so when you enter Samadhi, you are going to thankful to all those people helping for your sadhanas. Rather, you supposed not react there. You people are useless, make me suffering, so therefore I'm living now. No. Once you are entering the Atmik and Brahmagyana, so naturally you feel so much compassion, so much love, so much kind towards others. Whoever help you, even whoever even could not help you. Sometimes some people help you some 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe does not help for all the life, but you are going to be thankful to them, because they help you to make you survive your jivatma, the physical body. Without help, without survive your physical body, the jivatma, and you never can actually to experience the atma or the brahmagyan, or the entering into the kingdom of absolute consciousness, the brahmagyan, the higher consciousness, or the sivatatva, or the Bhairav consciousness, or the eternal consciousness. So what I mean here exactly, so please always thankful to the people, whoever around you, and whatever they have helped in this life. So don't create negativity. Whoever and help you, and who cannot help you in the future, so please do not be negative and remain thankful to them. Remain thankful. And if you learn these skills and your daily meditations will be very good, and your good karma, good merits going to help you. Whatever the sadhana you are going to do under guidance of the master, of the gurus. So please do always the sadhana, always get a proper guidance of the gurus and masters as per my personal concern, because whatever I do practice, always I have been guided by the masters and gurus, and I was study all kind of yogic science under the gurus, under the masters, not the only the books, not the only the scriptures. So scriptures give information. So you must continue also the sadhana, and sometimes you may need the advice from the sadhus, the monks, and who have the better knowledge as well. So you get the guidance from the, and which monks and sadhus or gurus or masters can help you, and wherever you trust, go ahead. But somehow, but never ignore and never be negativity towards the society, towards samsara, towards your parents, towards your wife, your children, towards your beloveds, towards your environments, towards your atmospheres. If you are negative, it does not bring you actually healthy sadhanas. And sometimes you may live in the society, in the nature, so you may maintain certain rules as per your duty. It may sometimes be tough and to have maintain the right discipline. So that can be done. So thanks to all of you today. I feel very happy and delighted and to see here and whatever I have the knowledge today about this Panchagini. So today I don't even look the any scriptures. Whatever I speak today, it is out of my heart, out of my, you can say, by the grace of the gurus and masters, and by the grace of Lord Shiva, by the grace of Mother Kali, and so that whatever I have, I share with you as a knowledge, as informations. So whatever you wish to, which way you want to accept. So thanks to all of you. And today, one of the so much introvert myself today, so much introvert. And still certain things not possible in this platform also to say. So thank you. So what I speak today essence, and any sadhana do, even work on the spiritual path, there is a lot of obstacles and you have to go through this. But continue your spiritual practice. Even there is obstacles. Let trust in God, trust in divinity, trust in Lord Shiva, trust in Guru, and trust yourself. And same time, respect where you are, which country you are, respect that. Even that not conducting for you, you have to choose yourself and whatever possible for you and for your own personal service. So, Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidanandamurtaye Nisprapanchaya Santaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Sankaram Sankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutramhasa Kritam Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Isvara Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyamavad Vyaktadehaya Dachinamurtayi Namaha Om Gangurabhyo Namaha Om Ganganapatayi Namaha Om Ayam Saraswatayi Namaha Om Klim Kalikaya Namaha Om Klim Bhadrakali Namaha Om Dandurgaya Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Om Hrim Namah Shivaya Sivoham Sivoham Satchidanandoham Sivoham Sivoham Satchidanandoham Om Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Om Gurubhyo Namah Harihi. So thanks to all of you today. May Lord Shiva and our Gurudev Swami Sivanand bless you all and wherever you are. Thank you.